Hi and welcome to another show, my weekly 10 show. It's the 18th of my shows today. And today I'm going to be talking about putting things into perspective. Okay, so, and it seems quite relevant today, funny enough, because all day today, all I've had on my WhatsApp is just people with conspiracy theories and stuff like that going on, and it sort of fits in with what I was going to talk about today anyway. Because what I really wanted to talk about is when I first came out of prison, and I remember coming out and feeling like I'd come out into a whole new world, like it was literally nothing like I'd remembered, and everything had changed, right? So it was very unfamiliar, and it's difficult to adjust to new life. Basically, everything was changed. So, but one thing really struck me after I came out of prison, and that was the fact that people tend to spend their lives worrying about the most stupidest of things. And you know, we just fill our minds up with all sorts of stuff that we gather from all the different areas, with its friends, social media, the media itself, all sorts of different areas, beliefs, past things that have gone in the past, everything that fuels our thoughts and beliefs in our minds, basically. So, and you think about that. I mean, think about the amount of things that we stress over, the things that we worry about, which we have no control over. Things like COVID, things like Brexit, things like politics, football teams, everything that we worry about, everything that we stress about in life. And we end up in situations where we end up falling out with friends or arguing with people who we don't know about things that really, do they matter in the whole scheme of things? So yes, we spend most of our lives in there, in our heads, worrying about, stressing about, living our lives, believing what we want to believe about whatever the situation is, looking at it through the narrow lens of whatever lens we want to look at it from, which only tends to be one perspective, because we will learn something or believe something from our past, whether it's a political way of thinking or something we might have seen on the internet, a video or whatever it may be, which feeds our beliefs and our views on things. And then we believe that. We believe whatever it is from whichever perspective that we want to come from. So we end up seeing whatever we're seeing through the lens of this one perspective. So when I got out of jail, I was, and believe me, it's not easy to stay away from this stuff. I'm guilty of it as much as anyone else. You know, you get sucked into this stuff. You go on social media. Before you know it, you're in your mind. You're not living in the moment, and you're living in this sort of catabolic, conflict-driven world where everything's a slight about you, and you know it really is draining and destructive. And when you live in your mind like that, you're not living in the moment, you're not enjoying life, you're not actually living life, you're living in your head, and you're creating beliefs and thoughts which you think might happen, or worries that you think might happen, or you're stressing over something that's happened in the past. So you're not actually living life in the moment, in the reality, really. So you're creating an abstract reality which just isn't real. So what do we do in this situation? I mean, when I come out of jail, I was struck by this, and I was sucked in by this, and you notice how many people end up falling out and stuff like this, and you know, you spend most of your life in these horrible destructive mindsets where we don't actually move forward, and we just spend it going around in circles, getting angry basically, or feeling crap, and you know, like a victim. So as I started training as a coach and became a coach. I learned different techniques and ways of thinking to pull yourself out of that sort of frame of mindset, and change your thoughts to something that's actually beneficial to you, rather than getting into the rat race of shouting and screaming at each other because you don't believe what I believe and this, that and the other. You can learn to reframe your thoughts. So what does that actually mean? Reframing your thoughts. So when you've got a thought going on, whatever that may be, whatever it is, and you know that it's not making you feel the way that you want to feel, you feel angry or stressed, or you know, whatever it may be. If it's a feeling that you're not that's not helping you move forward, then it's something you really want to change and move on from. And reframing your thoughts helps you do that. So what you really do is, in that situation, you're reframing your thoughts to something that's actually constructive, that's going to build you up, make you feel much more positive generally. Because at the end of the day, that's what fuels our feelings, and emotions are fueled by what we think. It's not anyone else, it's not any outside factor, it's not COVID, it's not Brexit, it's nothing. It's what you think about that subject. And if you're thinking something, you know, destructive or negative or whatever else, or you're entrenched in your perspective and you can't see any other way, and you're arguing with everybody because that's the way you think, then reframing your thoughts will help you, because basically it's a case of looking at something in a different perspective. That's essentially what it boils down to. So enabling yourself to ask yourself the questions as, what might be another way of looking at this? You might not agree with that. You might not be agreeing with whatever the perspectives are, but being able to open up and look at those perspectives at least gives you a bigger picture, a view of the bigger picture, so that you can actually see that there are other views and ways to think other than the ones that you're currently thinking. As much as you might be entrenched in believing that, it gives you the opportunity to change your thinking to something that's much more productive, much more constructive, and therefore you're going to feel better. And that's ultimately what it's all about. Because if you're living your life in there thinking about things and worrying about things, you're not feeling good, you're not moving forward in life, you're standing still and you're not living life. So, and that's what really opened my eyes over the last couple of years, specifically when, like I said, when I come out of jail. Because when you've lost or been through life-changing things, and you've, you know, really experienced what life is about, you realise that these minor little things that go on all the time are absolutely pointless. They really are pointless, because they just suck up your energy, and you spend days and months and weeks and whatever it is worrying about things that just don't happen. So, or it could be the minorest of things. We fall out of friends over. All of these things happen because we've had a silly argument or whatever else. But when you look at the bigger picture, when you really genuinely put things into perspective, what you find is that stress, worries, anger, all of these types of emotions and thoughts that hold us back in life from achieving what we really want to achieve disappear literally overnight, because you're taking your mind from there, which is festering and horrible, and it's just, you know, full of stuff that's crap basically, and you've swapped it for something that's much more beneficial for you. And you know, the fact of the matter is, you're worrying about stuff that might happen in 10 years time, but you could be dead tomorrow. Yet you're not living your life. You're not living your life standing still, stressing over things that don't exist, you know, or worrying about things that don't exist. It's all very well having an opinion on something, but when you spend your life worrying or entrenched in that way of thought, how beneficial is that really to you? And how constructive is that to where you really want to be in life and what you want to achieve in life? Because that is the main block for many people, is because we get stuck in our minds focusing on the things that don't really matter in life. And let's face it, these things don't matter. You know, you might think this is going to happen in a year, but a year down the line it's all forgotten, everything's changed, because you don't know what's going to happen. You literally don't know. From one day to the next, things change very quickly in life. So when you understand how you can reframe your thinking to something that's much more constructive, it gives you an opportunity to be in control of how you're feeling all of the time, instead of allowing outside factors or other things that you might think or have a perspective on to drain your energy, so that you're not actually moving forward in any area of your life. Because if you really want to spend the rest of your life moaning and arguing and feeling crap every day, fine, that's great, but I know I personally wouldn't want to live like that, and I want to live my life as happily and as fulfillingly as I can possibly do, and this helps me do that. So if you're interested in finding out how I can help you do that, then I'm available for one-to-one coaching, and you can also find out more information about my new upcoming Mind Gym, which is going to be starting in the next few weeks, and I will be sending out more information about that. That's going to be for everybody. it's going to be, I haven't figured out how much I'm going to charge for it yet, but it's going to be affordable for everybody. So get your names down for that if you want to be involved in that. Drop your email in the box, in the comments box, and I can send you information about that as well. So so yeah, just remember, don't stress over things that just don't matter. Put things into perspective, look at the bigger picture, and you'll be surprised how quickly all of this stress and worrying stuff that's going on in your mind disappears in an instant. And if you want to live life properly, living in the moment is the only way to do that. Not worrying about things, not stressing about things, not having arguments every day about stuff that absolutely doesn't matter. And like I said, when you've been through what I went through, when I lost all my family and stuff like that, which is, it's life-changing stuff, and we all go through it. It's not me alone. Everyone goes through life-changing things. It puts things into perspective, and it makes you realise that worrying about all this rubbish day in, day out, it's a waste of time. So start living your life, get out your head, and start reframing those thoughts right now. So, okay, have a great weekend, and get in touch if you're interested in finding out more about either the Mind Gym or the one-to-one coaching that I can help you with. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.